Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well and happy holidays. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season and a wonderful new year ahead of you. In this VR, I will be going over a few things that I look for in a deck and a few things that I don't look for when I purchase a deck. So stay tuned. You didn't think I would pass up an opportunity to do a VR to this hashtag, did you? So of course, I am talking about the hashtag created by Julie over at Peekaboo Rose, who is a fantastic YouTuber. I love her energy. She is a neighbor that I did not know I had. Of course, I will put her channel in the description box below, so feel free to check her out and subscribe. She created this hashtag called Deck Delights and Detergents, which is a list that you go over and wait, did I say detergents? Oh my God. I'm thinking about laundry, I guess. Deck Delights and Deterrence, which is a list of characteristics that you look for when purchasing a deck. Um, I figured this is a really cool hashtag to do because I have broken every single rule that I have put on this list. So you live and you learn. I'm going to be doing the deterrence first, which is what I do not want in a deck. The first one is pip only decks. And the only pip related deck I have is the Nightmare Before Christmas. I love this movie. I actually like this deck, but the fact that this deck has pips stringed along in the minors is, I don't know, for me. As you can see, the minors are going to be all pippish, which is for someone like me who reads off the image. I think this is the two of presents, so basically you get two presents. I like to read off the image, and it helps me relate back to the meaning. With pip decks, it's going to be a little bit harder for people who are very into the image, but overall, yeah, no pip decks for me because I will not be able to read them. The next deterrent is lack of diversity. So basically, I like decks that anyone can pick up the deck and see themselves in the cards. Next deterrent is large or massive decks. Oracle cards are generally bigger than tarot cards, but when tarot cards are just the same size or bigger than an Oracle deck, that is a big no-no for me. The next deterrent is Oracle decks, and I know this can be a little controversial since I do have Oracle decks in my collection. Um, I just feel I am drawn more to tarot. I feel tarot is the meal and the oracle cards are like the dessert. They're like very sweet. They are more affirmating. They are, more happy going, and sometimes you need that. But I feel more drawn to tarot, so unless the oracle deck is thebomb.com, I will not be adding it to my collection. I have plenty of oracle decks in my collection that I just don't simply grab that often. So into the delights. The first delight is cardstock. I am not a huge cardstock snob. I love a good cardstock, but it's not going to make or break the deck for me. I do have a couple decks in my collection that have crappy cardstock, but I still love the deck. So I figured I would showcase a few decks that have the amazing cardstock that I love. Smith Waite Centennial Edition. I love this deck. Okay, so this is controversial too. When I first got into tarot, I hated the classic RWS illustrations. I thought they were outdated and it just did not appeal to me. But this deck, it has that, coffee stained, antique looking uh, look to these cards. Here's one of them that you can look at. Um, But this cardstock is amazing. It's soft. It's easy to shuffle. It has like that matte finish. Um, but yeah, I wanted a deck that actually had, Pamela Coleman Smith's name on it instead of, the traditional, I don't know. Uh, the next deck has the Llewellyn Classic cardstock, which I actually love. You can either love it or hate it, but it's easy to shuffle with. It's pretty sturdy, in my opinion. The Mermaid Tarot has this. The Everyday Witch Tarot. Um, yeah, I love Llewellyn cardstock. I recently have come to love, and that is the Affirmators Tarot. It is that soft, buttery feel. It's not going to be a cardstock that you would think would break easily. It's actually very sturdy. But yeah, cardstock is a delight for me. It doesn't make or break the deck, but it does help. The next delight that I look for in a deck is artwork. I like to connect with the deck. There are thousands of decks out there, and each one is unique. Artwork is a big thing, I think, for not only for me, but for many readers out there. You really need a deck that you can connect with the majority, if not all, of the cards, because you will be, looking at them and reading with them. This wasn't on my list, but I just thought of it, and it is the card backs. Um, there has been a couple decks that I have seen floating around the interwebs with, amazing artwork, but when you pull the card back to see the back of the cards, it is horrendous. You're looking at the back of the cards maybe 50%, maybe, 80% of the time, and I do not want to see something that gives me nightmares on the back of my cards. Card backings do not make or break the deck, but if it has a something creepy like a snake or something like that I'm afraid of on the back, I will not be purchasing it. No ma'am, I will not be doing that. Last delight is the guidebook. I love a good guidebook. There's decks that have that little white pamphlet book that comes in decks. I would like to have a guidebook that goes into detail if the deck is a novelty or a themed deck. Everyday Witch Tarot, even the Mermaid Tarot, the guidebooks are phenomenal. They are full color, or at least these two. Full color, it goes into the card really well. It talks about the description of the card and what's going on. Full color, massive, thick, um, even smells good. I love a guidebook that smells wonderful. Um, but I definitely like a guidebook that goes into detail if the deck is themed or a novelty deck. But if it's something that goes off that's very similar to the RWS illustrations from the get-go, that's really not needed. But I love a good guidebook. Thank you so much for watching this VR to Julie's hashtag deck delights and deterrence. I didn't say detergents, so we got that right. Um, so if you enjoyed this video, please like, and if you haven't already, subscribe. I will, be uploading more videos in the new year. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season and a great new year ahead of you. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.